welcome back. We're continuing along in badge creation. So far, we've designed a badge and have it created, and we're all excited because, hey, that's probably the fun part, the creating of the badge. Um, well, a lot of it's fun, but maybe sometimes it feels like actual work. But now we're going to take that and create it into, like, we have a image, but how do we actually create a badge that we can use? And we do that through a website called badgr. So you can go to badgr.com. Um, for some reason, when it first came out, it was badgr.io, so I still tend to go there sometimes, but I think it's the same thing. But if your badgr.com doesn't work for some reason, you can go to badgr.io. I'm already logged in. If you're not logged in, you can go to the sign in button. I've invited you to become a member of our Eastern Christian issue badge issuer, which basically means the credentialed place that gives badges out. And so hopefully you've seen that email, but this is, if you haven't done it, you'd have to create a profile. But otherwise, it comes here. Did it come directly to your backpack? If you've been working in this class, you might have some badges that you can see in here that you've earned. And that's where you could actually send people, well, you could click on them and share them and stuff and put them up on your social media, tweet about the badges that you've earned. It's all cool stuff. Um, Pathways is something I think we're going to have to get to pretty soon because I think that we want to be able to keep all of our different classes separate. And, right now it's just a badge as a badge from Eastern Christian, but I have to figure out how to make it so there's kind of the pathway of the coding class and the pathway of my other classes, and so that we don't get ourselves all confused as to which badges we're all looking at the same time. But for right now, when we're in the issuer, we're going to see all the badges that we've created. And so, well, these are all the ones I've created, and maybe there'll be more down here that other people have created. So somehow I have to start figuring this out, and I've started taking a crack at it. You can see other staff members here. And then I tried to add a group too just to see if that might help us with the pathways, but I haven't figured that out yet. So anyway, here's the big button, the fun one, the create badge button. The first thing that we have to do is we have to upload the file. This is why we talked about how to make the thing, I said that they had to be a PNG file. Yes, there's this other file too, but that's more complicated than it needs to be. Hopefully you've saved a graphic as a PNG, and then when we click on this, we can find those badges and put them in as a badge. Wow, I could just put a screenshot in as a badge, so I guess I'll do that. That's a terrible badge. I won't save it, so it's okay. So the name, I try to come up with a consistent naming form for my badges. So I always do EC and then my class. So EC digital badges or something like that. And then the actual badge, like the subcategory that it's going to be in. So the class and then like what the badge is about. So using badgr or something like that might be what it is. The short description, you want to give, of course, just a summary of what the achievement is, and hopefully you've gone through already thinking about what your badges are going to be for whatever the topic or the class or the unit that you're doing. What are the skills that you're trying to get them to do? Why are we creating this badge? So what's the short summary of this? I try to write it in a formal way. Earners have demonstrated mastery in the skills required to create and implement digital badges. Something like that. I always want to use the word mastery and the fact that, this is what they've done in order to, overall, what they've done to earn this badge. Down here under earning criteria, there's two ways you can do this, and one is that you can type it in yourself. The other is that you could theoretically type it in somewhere else and give a URL. I don't know, maybe there's a Google Doc that you could make public to the world and then say, go read that about my badges. Um, this part is hopefully, again, something that you've planned out already and you've said, what are the requirements for this badge? What have they had to demonstrate mastery in? What is the standard that I'm actually, or the skill that I'm actually having them do? And I think good teacher language on this one is what you want to use. So perhaps this is like if I was to go directly from our curriculum maps, students will be able to, except it's not necessarily students, so maybe it's like badge earners will be able to, and then go ahead and list what they can do. Now, you'll notice there's really no formatting tools in this. I've struggled a little bit with formatting. There's a special kind of formatting language that it understands called Markdown, but I'm really bad at Markdown even after I read about it. So I just do the best I can. It might not look great. So for instance, if I just typed in some stuff and I said preview, it kind of see how it formats it a little bit differently. So it seems like putting ones and twos there works for me, and that's usually what I do. Theoretically, stars also work and they get changed to bullet points. So why the first one didn't, I don't know. This is a point. Yeah, no, see now it's not doing it anymore, so I don't know. Um, Optional details. If you have other things that you want to be able to do, if you have actual like standards alignment, um, you can actually somehow figure out how to do that in here. I have not done that. This is like on my to-do list of things I feel like I should do and want to do, but I haven't had a chance to do that. But if you are doing standards alignment with your badges, or maybe even doing standard-based grading and then adding badges on top of it, I think this would be a really great thing to add. Tags are just like short, easy ways to find badges. I don't think that you necessarily need to do that. And hey, maybe you say that my badges only last a certain amount of time, and then